Reframing Mindset podcast, where I clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Welcome. Okay, welcome back to Frame Mindset Podcast. My name is Concept Alexander. This episode I talk about dates. So like the calendar dates. So boom, you work at this point. Boom, you work and you get your credit cards and all those stuff. The dates, those calendar dates, no, that's one of the other things. Even when you're at home ownership and all those stuff, again, the older you get, the dates now become important. Business. I talk about episode about business cycle and all those stuff. The dates become more technical and it's more important. So, like for example, with a credit card, you have this ability to just based on your credit limit, you can just go out and spend as long as you don't go over the credit limit, and then boom, as when you pay it back, then that's the thing what that I understand about the credit card. Boom, once you pay it back, then you have that credit limit again, so you can actually spend and do it over and over. And what happens is that boom, so suppose you have like for $1 million, and you're making $1 million a month, and you have like uh $10,000 credit limit, or let's say $100,000 credit limit. You can basically use a credit card up to one. I would suggest you use it to maybe like 99,000 something else, because what also I learned is I actually make a purchase and up to the credit limit. And what happened was that the GCT actually, the tax actually made me go over the limit. So that's something else that they take in account when you make a purchase. The tax that is added onto it. So yes, you have to take into account that as well. So boom, you're taking all those things into account, and then boom, you make the purchase. And then after you make the purchase, now you pay it back with the money that you have, and they say, okay, yes, I get some rewards for doing that. And then you say, okay, I'm gonna do it again and do it again. I can basically do it well, as long as you pay it back, and then boom, the credit refreshes. But what happens is that they have a date where after that date, if the amount is not paid back, then that's where the big interest thing comes in now. That's where the big interest comes in, and you'll be like, oh my god, the next month you have to pay back that plus that 40% interest. It's good to always know that date, so that when it's close to that date now, you can always just put down the card and be like, okay, yeah, nah, it's no time to use that card now. Especially if you're someone that is not really that money wise or not that disciplined. You have to actually know, you need to know that, okay, yeah, even if you have to actually basically give someone else a card. Apple. No, yeah, well, you have to find a way to basically be like, yo, boom, it's time now to actually stop using this card, and then wait until this the payback time is finished. Make sure that you pay back all the loans on the card. Make sure that the credit limit is cleared up, and then boom, once that date is passed, where it's time to pay all the bills for that month, because that's the thing, it refreshes monthly. The credit limit refreshes monthly. Then you can actually just take up the card again, look at the amount of money you have in the bank account, and then use it accordingly again as well. Just take your time and use it. And then boom, the next month when it's time again to actually say, yeah, time to put down the credit card again until, yeah. So that's the thing where what you realize is the more you actually go up and take all these risks, the more the dates are important, especially paying bills. Like, for example, bills, you have certain bills now that when you pay, you get a discount, all these things. So it's like the more you adult you become, the dates are now important. The days, like for example, traveling, buying things at the right time, all those stuff, the days. So it's not only for credit card as well. I guess I should have changed it to general stuff, but as you grow in order for you to enjoy the most of the stuff you're given, you need to have an accurate account of the date and time as well, so that you can actually have a better use of the things. Because when you don't have it, and then boom, then when you get slapped with that maybe that overdraft fee or that late payment fee, I am be like, why? And you be like, bro, because time passed and you did not pay it back. So all those stuff come in that. So if it's, I'll think that to have an alarm or a note or something to remind you, like, okay, at this day, yeah, no more credit cards. Just put on that shit. Put that down and say, okay, time to just focus. Yeah, so that's basically it for this episode where I was saying that date and time is important for the credit cards and all other stuff as well. So like bills and stuff. But it's very important for credit card when you're dealing with a high interest rate payback thing like that. It's very important that you keep very good. Once you get the card, you have to know that boom. If someone asks you what date is today, you can always say that boom. It's it's March XYZ. It's March XYZ. I cannot say boom. So that's the response. That's another responsibility of owning a credit card. So that's basically it for this episode. Thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode. And that's the thing where before I go, that's the thing where I realize, like, what I realize is that when you manifest, you become that full person. And that's the thing. When you manifest and you become that full person that you want to be, that's what I'm kind of seeing now. Imagine going to see this person with this person. It's so simple and have all these stuff, but that person, that one person that you see, this elderly person, includes all these knowledge that he has garnered and stuff like that. All these knowledge and stuff, and you don't see that person as this one person, but he has all this knowledge and wealth and stuff through various experiences. But what happens that you're listening to the podcast and you're hearing the day by day going through and learning the process. But boom, once you meet this person, you just see what they are now. And you're seeing that boom, that's it. You come here and say boom, come here see me at my house, or boom, come here see me my car, you see me driving to work, all those stuff. But if you actually, and then that's one nice thing about the podcast, that when you actually see these things, you don't realize when you actually listen to the podcast, you listen to the process to go through to get it, and then boom, you see me in my finished state, and be like, oh, you know, that I guess that's the next value of the podcast where you have to see the changes and you can make less mistakes that I did. Doctor reach that point. So you can actually enjoy it better. So yeah, so that's basically it for this episode. Thank you for listening and look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page Reframing Mindset Podcast or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.